All right, here we go. It is episode 11 of the Odd G's podcast presented by Parx Sportsbook. There's Harry Mays, Jason Myrtetus, and we're going to have a guest, Colin Thompson from the Carolina Panthers today and also of Temple University. What's going on, Har?
Things are good, man. But I got a question right out of the gate, sort of a presentation question. I do a couple of other things on StreamYard or have done, and the presentation is a little wider, and I like this better. It's tighter. How do you do that?
Tight. Well,
Tight.
part of it, I think, is just being blocked, the wideness of it by the perimeter of that's called an overlay.
Oh, okay.
So it tightens up the box like what was that guy's name in Breaking Bad?
Oh, Tuco or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tight.
Yeah.
He'd do a bump of that meth and go, tight.
Yeah. Oh, so okay. So the borders are a little bit thicker, so it kind of makes everything else smaller.
That's exactly right.
All right. Yeah, I like that. Looks tighter. Tighten it up.
It was it wasn't done intentionally, but Matt Alba and the crew over at Parx put this overlay together, and
I like
frankly, it looks fantastic.
Now you got G on there in the lower corner. Now is G going to be wearing a Colorado Avalanche jersey sweater before too long in the overlay or what?
Well, if he's traded, and I don't think it's imminent, but it's going to happen. We'll go to this.
Oh.
We removed G. Quick change, Har.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I can't keep him in there in the Flyers sweater and the 28 with the El Capitan on it. We'll put him right for now.
Now, will he be able to wear 28 wherever he goes?
I don't think there's a 28 in Colorado.
I saw Minnesota or St. Louis would be other acceptable options, but number one is Colorado, and rightly so, because they could win the cup.
Yeah, I mean, those other teams can because they're good enough if you get in and go on a run, but are they as well positioned as Colorado? Probably not.
Yeah.
When you look at that talent. But Colorado, I mean, they've struggled in the playoffs. That's why they got to kind of shit or get off the pot here.
Right. Now, Kyle Brown in the stream says that my mustache makes me look really angry all the time.
I don't think that's an angry mustache. Like if there's a handlebar, it's a little more rigid and a little more intimidating.
I shaved this up. I mean, this is trimmed up, actually.
Yeah. Are you gonna keep the stash, Har?
Yeah, why not?
You like it?
I
look horrible with just a mustache.
I'll keep it until if it ever gets popular again, then I'll have to get rid of it.
Oh, that
you know what I'm saying?
When it
villainous is he's saying.
The contrarian that you are.
Right. Yeah.
Kyle says villainous on that mustache.
Yeah.
I trimmed it up. We had a buddy of mine's, like I think it was his 40th birthday, and everybody grew a mustache. I just shaved my beard into a mustache, and I had the handlebar coming down.
I could see that.
It didn't look right though, because my chin's not pronounced enough, which is why I have the kind of pronounced part of the chin. So I'm shaping my face with facial hair.
So in other words, you don't have a Bill O'Brien chin.
No.
How about that guy's chin?
Oh my goodness.
Or like Cower.
Yeah. Not quite Jay Leno-esque, but Cower's got a real good one.
Oh yeah.
Top chinsman.
Jay Leno's chin was almost like cartoon-esque.
Yeah, he looks like a crescent moon.
It
comes out so
from
far.
the side, from a side profile.
Yeah, it's like almost like, whoa, man, what happened to your head?
Yeah.
Let's tell people about Parx real quick because you got to follow them on the social channels at Parx Sportsbook on Twitter, also on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You'll get great content there, daily specials, and much more. And I hope that everybody used it last weekend for the big game, Har, because they had so many props on there, and I hope they took advantage of the $500 risk-free bet just for opening an account.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
And my some of my prop bets that I gave out the week before did not hit. I was really stunned that Van Jefferson didn't get more opportunities and make more plays, especially after Odell Beckham Jr. goes down early in that game. I was like thinking this is going to be a lock. He's going to have at least 50 yards receiving. He ended up with like I think 26 or something. So that was a loser. And the other one was the running back. He only ended up with 2. And 2. And his number was 17.5.
Oh my goodness.
So
17.5, that's nothing. Just break one.
I gave out 2 bad ones last week.
Yeah. Well, that's gambling. That happens.
Exactly.
We had Tone's takes on Thursday on Stick to Hockey Live. He gives his picks and plays and futures and everything. And we did a little segment last week on bankroll management because it is a marathon. Like when you put plays on Twitter and stuff, people are like, Oh, you loser, it didn't hit. It's like, dude,
Right,
they
right,
don't all hit.
right.
Because if I
If
was
they,
hitting all of them, I
I wouldn't
wouldn't
be
be on
giving
this.
them to you.
Yes. And I
Right,
wouldn't be on this app right now. I'd be
right.
on a yacht in the French Riviera,
Yeah,
hanging out with Max Verstappen and Kelly Piquet.
right. Getting funds wired to me from my Swiss bank accounts.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
yeah.
What did you think of the Super Bowl? Was it good presentation, good game? Joe Burrow was a big story, and
Yeah, I mean, I love the storylines going in, but I got to admit, I mean, I know the game was close, but a close game doesn't always guarantee or translate to quality. I didn't think it was
yeah,
a great football game. It ended up close. You ended up with drama at the end, and that's great. But I thought it was a low T Super Bowl. Like,
wow,
it sounded like the broadcast was needing some testosterone. I'm sorry. Al
Al
Michaels was
Michaels.
like half asleep, and I'm out on Collinsworth. He's just saying all kinds of stupid stuff, trying to all these hyperbolic statements, about what was going on. And I just didn't. I actually watched it casually for the first time
Wow.
in forever, where I was like, just paying attention to some other stuff, and I had it on in the background. And I wasn't even like drinking or partying or anything like that. It was kind of a sleepy night for that Super Bowl to me.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
that's rare because usually
I
it's a
know.
it's a locked in affair, right?
Yeah, and I mean,
And
I stayed up for the entire thing. I stayed up for the interviews afterwards. It wasn't like I went to bed early or anything, but I just wasn't really dialed into it. Like it wasn't pulling me in.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you're right. Just because it's a close game doesn't mean it's incredibly compelling.
Right, right.
I mean, it's always compelling just because it's the Super Bowl
Right, but
and
that
it's so
venue
big,
too, that stadium is very kind of very big. It's almost too
cavernous.
big and too corporate and too cavernous where you didn't feel like it was real. It was
Yeah,
almost like they were playing it in a TV studio.
yeah. I was seeing like shots before the Super Bowl of reporters standing in the empty stadium. I'm like, it looks like a fake backdrop. It looks
I
like it's on
know.
a green screen.
I
It's so
know.
beautiful. It's almost got no character because it's too sanitary.
It's too perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
video game one you would design and you would
Right.
never build.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so that was kind of my thoughts on it. I mean, the Odell Beckham injury was, I was sad to see that happen because he was on his
yeah.
way to having a great game. He'd already scored, and it totally changed the dynamic of the game. And I
Mhm.
was wondering if the Rams were going to adjust. And they finally did get things going with Cooper Kupp on that long drive where they scored. But the officials, we're talking about the referees after a
Again.
Super Bowl, and that is never good.
Yeah.
Like, they missed the obvious face mask on the Bengals score. Then they call kind of a ticky-tack defensive holding on Kupp, on the Logan Wilson, who's trying to cover Kupp at the end. So they inserted themselves into the game, and that's never good.
Yeah.
You
You
know?
want the players to determine it, especially in a championship.
Yeah.
Anything you do. But I
I'm
mean, the
glad the
ratings.
Rams won.
Yeah. I'm happy for Matt Stafford and Aaron
Aaron
Donald.
Donald, yeah. He was a
Monster.
beast too.
Yeah. He should have been
Yeah.
the MVP from what
Yeah,
I'm
that
told. I didn't see it.
you could really make a case for Aaron Donald being the MVP. You really could.
Yeah.
But yes, you did not see it.
No, 112.3 million viewers across TV and streaming average audience saw this game, up from 96.4 viewers across CBS streaming last year. I
Mhm.
mean, the NFL is insane.
Right.
I didn't see it though.
Well, only 18,000 people could attend the Billie Eilish concert. So, I mean, there's only a fixed amount that can get in there, but you were one of them.
Yeah, I was one of them. I was there and with my daughter, and the show was originally scheduled. I went back and looked for
Mhm.
March 13th, 2020. Our
All right.
world shut down on March 12th, 2020.
Mm.
March
Mm.
13th was a Friday night, so we didn't go, obviously. The makeup show for that concert was obviously Sunday, February 13th, 23 months really to the day later.
Right.
So I went with my daughter, didn't see a snap of the football game, and I had a great time.
Wow.
It was good. I
It
wasn't
was?
expecting the show to be what it was. She's kind of ethereal and breathy and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, right?
Right.
But it was way more produced and big in that arena. And Billy, she had like good positive messages there's a lot of kids there, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of parents there. And she had good positive message. She was a great performer. She sounded good. I stood the whole time, Har.
What?
Yes. My
Now,
daughter
how many
was going
songs does she
nuts.
play? How many songs does she have in the catalog?
She's got 3 albums. She did
All right.
about, I guess, I mean, she played for an hour and 45. She came on promptly at 9 and was off promptly at 10:45.
Well, the kid's got to get home, get to bed.
Yeah, well, they didn't
Sunday
consider
night.
the parking lot as part of that equation. I sat in the lot, Harry, literally didn't move out of my parking spot for 45 minutes. And I get good
Wow.
parking
Wow.
because I'm an employee down there of the barn, basically.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was an outrage is what it was.
Man, now were you at least drinking beers or something?
No, I might have had
No?
an edible.
A little post game? No.
I might have had,
Oh, yeah.
an edible enhancement.
Okay.
And that may
Well,
enhance the show.
I mean, were people imbibed? Like, were moms getting loose?
Yeah, there was 2 moms in front of me.
Yeah?
Pounding the Trulies, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
Very
the Trulies.
very much like my old lady would have done. Double fisting too, Hack.
Double-fisted Trulies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the old lady would have went nuts down there. But it was just fun to see my daughter just go nuts at the show. Like she
That's
was
funny.
totally into it.
No, what, does she, like, know all the words now to the songs and stuff?
Oh, yeah. That's her
Yeah.
favorite artist. Yeah.
So she's like you at a Metallica show or something, right?
Well, when you went to that Metallica show, we were buckled.
Well, yeah. I'm walking around the parking lot with a bottle of Crown Royal.
Yeah, well, we started that in Xfinity Live with a couple black tooth grins down
Right.
the
Yeah.
hole. All right, let's get to our featured guest here on Parx Sportsbook presents the Odd G's podcast. Harry Mays, Jason Myrtetus, and one of our favorite guys, Harry,
Yeah.
a Temple alum and a member of the Carolina Panthers NFL team. It is Colin Thompson who joins us on Odd G's. What's up? What's up, Colin?
How you guys doing? Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear, man. Good to talk
What's
to you
going
again.
on, man? Congrats to you guys on the new show. It's great to hear you guys are back across the airwaves together.
Thank you, man. Were
Yeah,
you in
man.
Key West or something there? You look like you're in a villa.
I am in Key West.
Are you? You've been down there for a
Yeah,
while,
yeah.
haven't you?
Yeah, I try to get down here for about a month. I have family and friends that are down here
Oh, okay.
that own some bars and own some restaurants. So, I mean, I'm fortunate enough as a kid to come down here and spend a ton of time down here. So I've met, probably we have like 20 family friends that are here. We played the Dolphins this year. They got a whole box for the game. So it's kind of like a home away from home for my family. My parents have done business down here. And it's
Wow.
been great. So I'm down here with friends, family, training, a little mixing, a little fun, a little working out. So all's good. Just starting the working out process for the
All right, I
off
got to
season.
ask you, Cape May in the summertime or Key West in the wintertime? Which is better?
He doesn't. He
You know
wants
what?
to say the politically
That's a
correct answer, Harry, but it's Key West anytime. How about that?
I love them both. I love them both for many reasons. You guys are breaking up a little bit, so hopefully it comes through okay on my end. But I love them both for many of reasons. Cape May is probably more of a home nation. Here's probably a place more I like to visit. I don't know if I could physically live down here for such a crazy long period of time, but no, they've treated me both great. I love training in both locations, which allows me to do the vacation side with the family and my wife and our friends that fly down and come down and all these different events we have and fundraisers and all these different things. But to be able to train in both places has been huge for me. So
You're married now. Oh, sorry.
you guys got me.
Yeah, you might have the Mike Kern dial-up modem going.
Yeah, I think this is Colonel's AOL hookup here.
You got married, man. Congratulations. How's it been?
Sorry, guys,
Yeah,
I'm losing you.
We're frozen up here, man.
Yeah, Key West is an area to
Yeah.
vacation, not stream, Harry.
Yeah, exactly. You're not supposed to be able to, like I'm going to Florida for the next 2 weeks, but I'm not going to be in Key West. I'll be in areas where you could still do the internet. Key West doesn't want you on the internet and doing streaming, and you're supposed to go there and just let loose and forget about all those obligations.
Yeah, and drink, as Colin Berger says, drink the black tooth grins, Harry.
Oh yeah, he's no
remove it.
stranger to that.
All right, we got him back now. Let me kick his other one. There he is. All right. How's
All right,
married
I'm-
life, man?
Is this better? This is sounding a lot better.
A little
Yeah.
better, yeah.
Okay. Married life has been great. Married life's been great. It's been quite the journey from getting married. We didn't have our honeymoon until after the season. We got married in June.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's always a funny thing to do the honeymoon after, but I couldn't have done the wedding, the honeymoon, and then the season. That would be crazy.
Right.
So it's great, man. No complaints from me. Kind of had an extended little honeymoon after the season. Did some time in the Bahamas, and then did some time, down here, and just relaxing, man. Getting ready for the next season. It's crazy. Football's over. I was a little depressed. I'll be honest with you guys. Monday morning, after watching the game, and just been like, you know what? As someone who plays the game and probably watches a lot less football than other people because I need a break from it when I'm outside the building. I was a little depressed. I'll be honest with you. That football's over.
Yeah, there is that post. It's like, oh, now we got the countdown. Yeah, you get excited for free agency and draft and all that stuff. How's it been down in Carolina though, with Matt Rule, and you got some cool teammates down there? I know, you had Christian McCaffrey on the Not for Long podcast. How's it been down there?
It's been great, and I think from the outside perspective, you see the same record back-to-back years. You see a lot of smoke with what's going on, with losing and people coming at Coach Rule and coming at, the organization and all these different players, and Christian McCaffrey can't stay healthy, and there's a lot of negatives. But, I may be biased, but to be in that building, I feel really fortunate to be a part of it. I've been a part of a lot of different buildings in my life, from being in 2 different college programs, 5 different professional teams, really 7. So I've been able to see a lot of different things, and I know we're doing the right things. It's just a matter of time till it's going to go through, and that's being a part of a rebuild. And, thankfully, Coach Rule, he's still here. I've said it on other podcasts before, because some people say, oh, I don't want to bring it up to you because it's kind of, controversial. I have no problem talking about it, but I think Coach Rule is going to live out his entire contract in Carolina. I've said that before. That's a 7-year deal. I'm a huge fan of him. I'm going to be completely honest. My first couple of years at Temple, I was not a fan of how we did things at Temple. I pushed against it. I was like, man, we didn't do any of this stuff at Florida. And we went to a Sugar Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
We went 12-1. Should have went undefeated. And you know what? It was the right way to do things. And obviously it really worked out for him at Baylor and the staff, because he brings everybody with him everywhere. And things are working out, behind the scenes in Carolina, and started off to a great start. And really was a tale of about 3 different seasons this year in Carolina. You start off hot and go 3-0, and then you get back to 500 at 5-5, and Cam Newton comes in and took his first 2 plays, he scores 2 touchdowns, and then all of a sudden we go on a massive skid and don't win another game. So
yeah,
it's been a crazy year. It will be a big offseason. Obviously, there's no hiding that. But excited to be there, because I really firmly believe that it's looking up.
Well, we could get to some off-season questions, but I got to know, you watched the Super Bowl in Key West. What did you think of the game and the overall outcome?
Yeah, so I've talked to a bunch of people after the game. I'll say this was such an enjoyable, leading up to the Super Bowl. It was a very, so many good, heartfelt stories. Van Jefferson has the baby after the game. Matt Stafford finally gets that Super Bowl and gets that public recognition that he deserves, because he's such a good player and respected throughout the league and by good football minds and in the media.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get Sean McVay, who's the young up-and-coming coach at 36, wins the Super Bowl, such a likable guy. At least I think he is. And you got the Bengals and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and then Aaron Donald and the Rams. There's no villain. Now that Brady's out, there's no villain card anymore. So we're talking a lot about that to a lot of people. Then we drew that back to the NBA, when LeBron's out of the finals. I don't know, to me, it's just not the same. Whether you root for him or you don't, whether you want to compare him to Brady or not, I don't know if the field is what it is, but I'm going a roundabout way, just addressing the whole game, because there's kind of a lot to tackle. But it was a clean game. It was a fun game to watch. It was a great Super Bowl. Combine that with a fun halftime show. Tony Bruno was correct in that Snoop would be lighting up a J publicly
Blazing
before.
up.
Yeah, he blazed up. We saw it on camera.
So we got a little bit of that. I thought the halftime show was great. I thought it was fun. I thought it was entertainment. I thought it was different. I thought it was a little bit of everything. Whether you like that genre of music or not, everyone knows lyrics to all of those songs, in my opinion. So I thought it was fun, a good mix-up, a breath of fresh air. I thought the Rock thing was a little cheesy.
Yes, a little.
Even though I love the Rock personally.
I do too.
I was like, come on. And I was at a place where the volume was up, but you couldn't hear everything clearly. I just saw him screaming into the mic, and I said, oh, no. He's on the field.
Yeah.
Imagine being on kickoff return looking out there, be like, wow, that guy's actually bigger than all of us out here.
Yeah.
And he's on the mic. Like, what are you doing?
His bicep was it looked like somebody's
huge.
thigh.
Like he works his ass off.
Right.
I mean, that guy's unreal. What his success story, doing things at least publicly the right way. But then the Super Bowl, ended, awesome. You get Joe Burrow, get the ball in his hands to go down the field. Cooper Kupp catch the fade route first. Odell goes down. That's another thing. Again, I'm all over the place. Like I've been publicly talked about. I've talked about Odell since I met him in New York and played with him. I never had a bad experience with Odell.
Mm-hmm.
He's not bananas.
No, I mean, I don't I get what the media does, right? They see him kick a net, but like Tom Brady throws his helmet across the entire sideline and curses everyone out. And everyone's like, that's leadership.
Wow. Odell proposed to the kicking net, though, if you remember back when he was with the Giants. That's a little different.
I think theatrical is a good word, but I don't think he deserves all of this like
vitriol.
Like the guy's never done anything wrong off the field. It's almost like T.O. in a way. Like T.O. never did anything wrong off the field. Like no, like he just was theatrical. And now they're painting him as like this leader, and he's crying and he's got his hands on, Buck's receiver's shoulders after games. And I just hate that, by the mainstream media, because he actually is a good guy and a good teammate. And he's always played hard, but it's like, things didn't work out. I get it. I know, that's how the media rolls, but that's something that stuck out to me. And there was just so many different storylines from the game. But at the end of the day, here comes Aaron Donald, absolutely wrecks the game like we thought he would. Cooper Kupp, the stars from the Rams took over. And really that's how it shook out, because, at the end of the day, it's not X's and O's. You're not going to call the right play. It's how your Jimmies and Joes execute. And the Rams, both teams, just have elite talent, and the Rams just end up pulling out at the end. We called a 3-point game on the show. I was just 10 points off.
The thing is, Colin, you see the numbers of the people that watched, over 117 average watching the Super Bowl. Like it's fucking insane that many people are watching the same thing. I mean,
crazy, man.
Most sports or TV shows would love 30 million. That'd be huge. 117 is incomprehensible to me.
I'm trying to hang around as long as I can, Jason, because the money's going up, brother. I'm trying to hang around, guys. But even a place like Key West, this is the best town to watch football, because everyone, even the locals, are from all over. And there's Eagles bars, there's Patriots bar. It's such a cool, fun environment.
It's like the red zone channel of watching football, because everybody's got a different rooting interest.
Yeah.
It's great. And everyone's there for the same reason. And I was between two bars, Shots and Giggles, which was my uncle's bar, right behind Sloppy Joe's, and then Scars and Tattoos, which is right next to it. And these great places, and great ownership and awesome hospitality. They got food trays for everybody, and they don't even serve food there. Just an awesome event, and the town is packed to watch the game, and the excitement. Everyone's different jerseys on the team. Like I couldn't hear the halftime show because everyone was singing the songs. So like you're saying, that the fandom of the NFL is awesome. And people, there's always that remote side. They're like ratings and this and that, all this BS. But Tony said, Harrow, on the Twitter Spaces we did, like the NFL listens, they really do, and they pump out a great product. It has to be a part, obviously, but the product is unreal, and the product's only getting better on the field. There's more quarterbacks now than ever. There's more great receivers now than ever. It's like something I my young age of a fan and a player, like I've never seen before.
Yeah, and I saw that some of the odds already out for next year's Super Bowl, depending on where you get it. It's either Kansas City or Buffalo are the favorites. Some casinos have them flip-flop, but then the Rams come in there at plus 1,000, and then the Niners and Bengals both in at plus 1,400. Is there anything that jumps out at you there when you start here? I Dallas is in there at like plus 1,400 in some places, and I don't get that in the least.
Well, everyone hates on Dallas, right? Because they've struggled in the Super Bowl, or struggled in the playoffs and a couple of things like that. Yeah, that's a talented football team. So I think they deserve to be up in that mix for sure. I think you're not going to find too many teams more talented than Dallas. This is their second year now under Coach McCarthy. I think, or third year this will be. Dak's back healthier again, right? They came up that big injury to come out and play the way he did off of a big injury. He's really tough. They're going to lose players of free agency like everybody else, but they're figuring out their defense there. Like publicly, like everybody knows, like the defense kind of was the thing. But you got guys like Micah Parsons and a couple other studs on that D, Diggs, and one of them. That's pretty high end talent. So I get why they're up there. The Bills that was what a fun team to watch.
Yeah,
that game we talked about, just incredible. That's a fun
Josh
team.
Allen.
Yeah.
Right. And Josh Allen 100%, Jason, but the guys they have around him and like a Diggs and now this Gabriel and they have some good tight ends. They have some fun backs. Their offensive line that we know, Deion Dawkins, and Temple guy, Pro Bowler. Right. Ryan Bates, a local guy, Archbishop Wood. He started at left guard for him. He played at Penn State. Defensively they have a ton of studs. And then another Temple guy, Tyler Matakevich, who's their special teams captain. So, that was first off, bucket list place to go, guys. If you can get there with some moderate weather. We played there. It was like 30 degrees, no wind, light snow. Awesome. I mean, in Green Bay.
That's moderate weather for Buffalo, but not for me.
No. Harry, it was actually enjoyable. No wind.
It was?
The no wind thing made it, right?
Okay.
We all know.
Yeah.
Like you just got to keep your hands and toes warm, and you had a great time. So, I mean, people were flipping us off, brushing their teeth, and like eating just crushing Bloody Marys and whatever Miller Lite or whatever they're drinking up there. Probably Labatt's,
right?
Yeah, it's the only enjoyable thing to do in Buffalo. Like you go to Buffalo, like Steve Coates always says, if the doctor gives you a week to live, move to Buffalo. You'll be begging the Lord to take you sooner, and it'll seem like an eternity.
Oh, gee. I'll tell you what. I went to a little dive bar, not to have drinks, but a little dive bar to get wings and bring them back to the team because COVID just happened. COVID was spiking up and the new NFL rules. You can't eat because before the whole thing was get vaccinated, you can no mask, and you can leave the team hotel and get dinner and enjoy the normal NFL life the night before the game. So I went and got 150 wings at some place right down the street from the hotel and came back, and it was such crap weather the night before the game.
Right.
But the wings were unbelievable. I mean, I know that's not a hot take, but they were very good.
What is it? The Anchor Bar? Is that the one that gets the credit for starting the whole thing?
Yeah, right there. Yeah, there's one bar, Buffalo Bill, I think.
Yeah, I've been there.
One.
Yeah. When you get done playing, I know you don't like to think about when you get done playing when you're playing, but you kind of positioned yourself, doing the podcast, the Not For Long podcast. We know Harry's been on, I've been on as well, and it's awesome. As getting into like media and stuff, but you ever consider coaching? Because I mean, like, dude, you got coach written all over you. To me, you're a grinder. You've worked your ass off to get there. And knowing you, I know that you don't take any of this shit for granted. And I think that's a huge trait of good coaching.
It's a great question. I've been blessed to be coached by so many awesome people over the years, starting in youth football. Like that's the reason why I'm here and talking to you guys, because I got lucky with great coaching. You did some picking along the way, the youth football team, and then picked the high school because I went to the private school, 20 minutes away in Archbishop Wood, and then at college you get to pick where you're going. And then Temple, the one I didn't even pick, the one that I didn't have a choice for because I was medically disqualified and went from 30 offers and a first team All-American to no offers. Nobody wanted me. Penn State offered me a walk-on spot. UCF offered me a walk-on spot, and Matt Rule at Temple's like, I'll take you. Well, they were the best staff and the best thing that ever happened to me. And then I bounced around the league and played for some great people, just getting lucky, getting selected by different places. So I've learned a lot about the game. I've been open to learning the game, which I think started at a young age. So I've been asked before. I've been offered some spots before, but I wanted to continue to keep playing and grinding. I'm always transparent with this answer because I love to coach and wish I could coach, but I wish I could edit the world of coaching. I think it's way, way too much time away from family. If that's what it takes to be successful, then I get it. But for what I want to do in my life and have a family and be around my family and be around the game, there's easier ways to check that box, especially what I'm already doing, especially with some of the color commentary background that I have because of Harry breaking his ankle on some acorns. So it's a great question and very humbling. I would love to coach, but I would want to jump to become a head coach so quick so I could say, hey, guys, get out of the office at 7:00. Go eat dinner with your family. Because these guys don't know their family to much as I want to know mine and the health behind it. I think there's healthy ways to do it. So who knows? We'll see what happens when it's over. I'm never closing any doors. But
fuck, that's a great answer.
Yeah, it's a great answer. It sounds a lot like the Bruce Arians approach.
Yeah, guys, I mean, I've played for some awesome people, man, but I think it needs to be edited. I think the quality of life is tough to do it. Now, I'm not saying 1, 2, 3 nights a week. You can't, bury yourself and burn it. But I just think there needs to be time with the family. And that's why I would probably prefer NFL over college, because college, the season ends and you're gone, you're recruiting. And during the season, Friday night before a game, instead of being with your tight end group or being with your offense or defense or whatever, or going out to dinner with your family the night before the game or breaking bread with the team, you got to go recruit a high school football game. You got to go sit in the stands at Cherry Hill East and watch a game, or Archbishop Wood, or all LaSalle, or you're like, so that's awesome. And but that's not coaching all the time. That's like program building. It's a whole nother level.
Yeah. Wow. Pretty crazy, man. That's nuts. Well, your podcast is great. And I love the one thing that he does, Harry, when you guest on his podcast, he sends you a not for long hat.
Oh, I got the hat. Yeah.
Yeah. I got it right here, actually. Yeah. Proudly. Oh, shit. Here it is. I'll put it on.
It's got the microphone and the N4L on it. Yeah. There you go.
You can see that.
Yeah.
I love our logo, but I had a logo done, guys, that was incredible, but it was too close to the NFL logo.
Oh, so you get a C&D, a little cease and desist.
I didn't do it, but I was for it. I had 50-50 down the middle. Some people that I trust, 10 people, lawyers, whatever, and I said, what do you guys think? And it was 50-50, and I'm like, you know what? This ain't worth it. It's not worth losing your job over.
Yeah, I could have got some good press out of that, though, and that would have been good press for the podcast.
Right.
But let's change that logo to the exact NFL logo and then fight it so it ends up in the media.
Right.
And then people come to the podcast.
Yeah.
And then I have no money left, and, starting from zero again.
But you created a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
That's what counts. Whatever it takes.
Oh, man. Dude, enjoy Key West, man. We're going to let you go. But thanks for coming on, man. I love talking to you. I know you're a big Philly sports fan, a huge Flyer fan. He's always texting me.
Yeah, no, wait. I got one more for him because something happened here in the last couple of days. I don't know if you saw this already, but Mike Oresco, the head of the American Athletic Conference, wrote an open letter to college football and is basically trumpeting a 12-team playoff sooner than later. What do you think about that?
You know what? We've debated this before again on Not For Long. I say tread carefully, folks, and you better give like 4 or 5 buys to the top 4 teams.
Oh yeah, I think 4 teams would get a bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even when you get to the second round, I think those top 4 teams are going to demolish Alabama versus 8 seeded. And I think this year you could have done it. We went through it again. I thought this year there's a little bit more depth.
Mm-hmm.
And Harry and I talked about this before. I think. Even the UCF, Cincinnati, who was good this year, I think an old UCF team was better than them.
Right.
So just tread lightly when you expand.
I know.
Because these big dogs are going to run through people. And I know everybody wants more.
More games, more things to bet on.
Yeah. Hey, they'll find a way to do it, Harry.
Right.
You got to drive that wheel, baby.
That's right.
Look at those. Look at the great point, though, you brought up, Jason. The viewership will be nuts.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, though. College football is not balanced enough to support that many teams fighting for a chance, because you're going to see teams get in there and they're going to get just bludgeoned.
Right.
That happens a little bit in the first round in the NBA. It doesn't really happen in the NFL, but in baseball, not really, because they're close. But
pitchers
in hockey, obviously anybody can win. But in college football, like the top couple teams, they win by 60 over the 12th ranked team in the country.
Yeah, there's a big drop off from like 2, 3, and 4 and the rest of college football. Usually.
And the difference is the depth. Like at American Athletic Conference, if the Temple Owls, when we were at our prime, were fully healthy going into the 12th game of the season and the 12-game playoff, I think we could beat a team. But the issue is you're not going to be fully
You're not healthy, yeah.
And the other teams are rolling in a 4 or 5 star behind you, and then you would be rolling in a developmental player, which is still going to be a great college football player, but maybe they're a freshman.
Right.
So that's the difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're not ready for that.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah. Enjoy Key West. When are you coming back?
I'll be back at the end of I'll be back. I'm only here another week or so. So I'll be here and then start training hard. I'll be, training down in, the panhandle of Florida. I love training down there with my, my wife's family. He's got a little place down there. So I go train down there, run on the beach, pretty much beat myself up for about 8 weeks. And then boom, rolling back into OTAs, guys. We'll be OTAs mid-April. So
wow.
This NFL thing, as you guys know, mock drafts are already out. The draft's going on. So it's going to be a hell of an off season, man. Appreciate you guys coming on. I appreciate you two so much. You've been mentors of mine. You've taken care of me. And, I can't thank you guys enough.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Colin, thanks, man. Be well.
talk soon, you too.
There he is. Colin Thompson. He's an awesome guy.
Oh yeah.
Just
Absolutely.
a great dude. And he texts me all the time about the Flyers.
Oh,
He's
I
a
know.
huge
He loves
Flyers fan.
he loves hockey and loves the Flyers.
Knows his shit too. You
Uh-huh.
know. I want to get to this Ben Simmons thing real quick, Harry. Did you see any of the press conferences? I know you were doing the show.
No, I didn't see any of it, but I heard through watching Twitter that it was a lot of it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
A lot of-
I don't know that I missed all that much.
Yeah. I listened to it and it was like, okay, whatever. You know.
Yeah.
It was what it was.
Right.
It's basically the way I saw it.
I don't want to hear press conference. I want to see Harden start to play, and apparently that's not going to happen until after the All-Star break, which is very soon, in another week or so. But when Ben Simmons decides to play, I'll tune into the highlights. If he's here on March the 10th, when the Nets take on the Sixers, that would be great. I know he was asked that today, and I think his answer was, he'd like to be able to play, but he doesn't know if he's going to be available. So who knows? The playoffs will be great, though. Hopefully the two teams will get matched up in the playoffs, and then everybody that can play has to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you see now Anthony's down at the Sixers practice facility? You and I did a bunch of shows there.
Oh, yeah.
For like the start of training camp with Embiid and Simmons. They were both on the show. They came on the program. So Andrew Salchunas tweeted out a picture of Anthony talking to Daryl Morey. And I love Daryl Morey.
So yeah.
Like he's kind of like a grimy, he interacts with people on Twitter. He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Here's Anthony with Daryl Morey. And look at the cuz. Look at the cuz. Look what he's got, like, if you can see his cuff link there on his right hand of the shirt underneath, it's like a burgundy or maybe a Merlot.
Yeah, it's like, or a cranberry, sort of like the Rock had on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's got this sport coat on that he pulled out of Paulie Walnut's closet. Like, what is going on there?
Well, I just like the body language, like he's all hunched over, almost like he's gearing up to D up Daryl Morey. He's like, he's got the fists up. He's going to get in his face, and get up in his grill and defend him from the half court line in.
and it looks like he's got baldy shoulder pads on.
I know. That's his shoulders, man. That coat doesn't have shoulder pads in it. No way. No.
Look at that thing.
That's all him, man.
Hey, what do you say? It's a big day. Harden. You got no more Ben. He's a gazelle.
Yeah. Now, does he get out a new song? Because it was Prodigy. He used to play that Prodigy song.
Yeah,
whenever he talk about Ben Simmons. So he's no longer the Prodigy, right?
No.
So what is Harden? He's got to come up with a new song.
I saw people, and I saw it on Twitter yesterday. People were tweeting in because he was soliciting that right away.
Of course,
soliciting. We got to come up with a song. What do you think about Thunderstruck? And
then Tunis will fire it up off of YouTube, and play it. Yeah. Now there's a lot of action on the stream here for this F1 stuff. Joey B's asking all kinds of questions about Azerbaijan on June the 10th. Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my God. Yeah, all the car revealing is happening right now. They're revealing what is called the livery of the new cars.
The livery.
Which is how they're designed with the logos and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're introducing all their 2022 cars, and they're much different because there's new rules in place. So Joey B talking about Miami first week of May. The new Miami Grand Prix is going to be there.
Is that the second one in the United States, or did they just move wasn't it in Texas?
Yeah, it's in Austin. It's called Circuit of the Americas, and it's still there. They still have an American.
So there's two races in America.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Talking about adding a third, as a matter of fact, too, Har. Talking about maybe doing one in the streets of Vegas. So, which would be obviously cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to
well, Miami's a perfect city for that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
very opulent too.
Yeah, it's almost like you're on the Riviera.
Yeah,
like in Monaco. Monte Carlo kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You go to Monaco, it's in the streets of Monaco.
Mm-hmm.
All the boats and the yachts are out there and everything. It's awesome.
Right.
So, look at this. He says, is Gargano wearing riser shoes? Yeah, he's got like a lift kit on those shoes.
They were the different kind of shoe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen
different
those.
kind of shoe.
I don't know.
By the way, we have birthday wishes today too, Har.
For who?
How about this? This guy is still playing professional hockey.
Oh,
It would be one Jaromir Jagr.
wow. Now, who's he with? Is he over in Russia?
No, he owns a team. And he
Okay.
plays for the team that he owns. Let me just figure out what they're called here. I forget. But I mean, he's just been at it forever. He's
Jeez.
50 years old. 50. Still playing.
Now, what was the oldest? Was it Gordie Howe, or who was the oldest player to ever play in the NHL?
It has to be Gordie Howe because he played into his 50s.
Okay, and Chelios was old. He was like 45, wasn't he?
47, I think.
Was he 47? Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, how can you play at that age? Yeah, Gordie Howe, it was the oldest. He played his final game on April 11th, 1980 at 52 years of age and 11 days.
Now, was that in the NHL?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. He played on a line with his two sons, with
Because
Mark
I know he was in the
and Marty.
WHL too, right?
Mhm.
With the Houston Aeros, I believe.
Yes, I believe you are correct.
Yeah, I remember. Like
So,
I had that
that's
hockey card.
Good Gordie Howe knowledge, Harry.
Yeah, I had the card. I used to, collect the sports cards like every other nitwit kid did back in that time period. But yeah, wow, look at him. He still looks good.
Yeah, he does. I mean,
You
he's
know?
fit as they come, and it's amazing that he's still going. And you never would have thought he was a guy that would be able to keep going. Because it didn't seem like he loved the game at a time in his life. But then he's still grinding it, man. I don't know how he does it.
He had some nice years here with the Flyers. I thought he played well.
Yeah, he only had the 1 year.
Was it only one? I thought he was here for rolled over for 2 years. I thought. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
No, it's just the one. Then he went to the Rangers.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Well, Jagr isn't the oldest guy to play in the NHL. Obviously, that was Gordie Howe, but Chris Chelios did play in the NHL until he was 48 years old and 71 days back in 2010.
There you go. Okay.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that is incredible. Now, obviously, he's a defenseman.
Yeah.
But Jagr's still out there on the wing.
Yeah. He can skate. Like when he came to the Flyers, he got a key to the practice facility, the skate zone. And he would go over there at like 10 o'clock at night on a Friday night and just power skate for 2 hours by himself.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just a total rink rat.
Yeah.
I wanted to wrap up one other thing on two things on Super Bowl. One, did you see this company? They're called Tushy. It's called
Tushy.
Yeah. Their Twitter handle is @HelloTushy. It's
no, I did not.
Tushy Bidet. Now, they ran a promotion during the Super Bowl, and here the promotion is here. I'll put it up on the screen.
I didn't see this.
Their tweet said, "We're serious. You could win $10,000 if you send us your post-big game poop on Super Bowl Monday. Super Bowl Monday.
Oh, God.
Bonus
I'm
points
out.
if you tell us what food it used to be."
Oh, this is disgusting. Really?
Yeah, that's what they did.
I'm out on Tushy.
You're out.
Yeah, I'm out on that. I'll just use a baby wipe or a dude wipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how about ZZ Top Tush, huh?
Yeah, that's a good song, but
that's
I
great song.
don't need the bidet. I don't need to have my butthole hosed down from the toilet. I'm sorry.
Blasted with a fire hose.
Exactly. I'm not just forget it. That's disgusting. And no, I'm not taking part in that.
You're out on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks for
I can't
letting me.
photo my deuce.
No,
I don't find that enjoyable.
No.
I wanted to call out a guy here on the podcast as well, because we were talking about. I went to the Billie Eilish show with my daughter.
Right.
And I put out a tweet, Har, and I know I got a response from you with geez.
Yeah. Wow.
And
What
I
do you
just
expect?
said, yeah, this is inside Wells Fargo, and I said on March 13th I was scheduled to go to the Billie Eilish concert. Blah blah blah. The whole story.
Right.
And so I'm here with my daughter, and this guy B Money is his Twitter handle @BHaynes1027 responded. Like a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's great. Family's important." Blah blah blah. And this guy goes, "Would you do the same for the Stanley Cup? Fraud sports guy and fraud dad." That's what this prick said.
All right. Now, I got to ask you, if the Stanley Cup was on and it didn't, obviously, let's say it involved the Flyers, you would not have been able to go to the concert, because if it was a road game, you would have still had to been doing the radio.
Yeah.
Right? Your responsibilities. If it was a home game, there's no way Billy's playing there the same night.
Yeah, because the Flyers got the sheet.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, if it's the Flyers, it's obvious. I'm working.
Right.
But if it's a cup game and I had that concert, I would still go to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
some
the
people
cup
can be
game,
just such pricks.
There's one of 7 possible games. I mean, the Super Bowl is one of 1.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's a game 7, you know?
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to go to the concert.
Wow.
Because I'm not emotionally or invested in it that way. So I guess I'm a fraud sports guy and a fraud dad.
Jeez,
I'd like to take a goalie stick to his fucking temple.
How are you a fraud dad? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, for taking my daughter to the show, right?
Right.
Like, what is going
I'd
on?
say that's Dad of the Year nominee.
Yeah. So I quote tweeted and said, and the A-hole of the year award goes to, and just put an arrow pointing down to that prick. Right. And so all these people found out who he was, and people messaged me who he was. So I looked him up on Facebook. The dude lives in my hometown.
Well, that's a real outrage.
Yeah. And not shocking, he's single. Like, what a Brandon Haynes is his name. I mean,
well,
he works for.
You want to give out his address too?
He works for Dell as a salesman. Jesus. So if this guy comes across to try and sell you a computer, buy it and beat him with it.
Oh my God.
I mean, like, people are such assholes.
That's why I wouldn't put stuff like that out there so I'm just keeping it to myself. They don't need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Promotional purposes only, Harry.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my God. 91L Sixers says when Bruno's bidet fails, he makes Robin get a warm bucket of water and a stiff bristle brush.
I actually think
like
that's
the grill
true.
brush.
I actually think that's true. There's some truth to that. I would not doubt that for a minute.
Could you hear him going, Miss Robin, go grab that steel brush off the grill.
Oh my God.
Give me a good scrubbing.
Oh, God.
I hate to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
So funny. Unreal. What else did I want to get to here? Oh, the Ben Simmons thing I just want to get to real quick, Har. Because if you put anything out on social media that he's now being cured of his mental issues, you are now shamed.
Which I did, by the way.
I did as well.
As soon as the trade was made.
I mean, because it's so odd. Look, is he fucked up in the head? Does he have issues? Probably. We all do.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm fucked up in the head. You want to see mental issues? Look at the screen right now. See this dude talking with this hat on?
Yeah.
I'm fucked up.
Right.
But I mean, this whole notion of if you question it, then you're downplaying mental illness. And that's why I have a problem with what he did.
Yeah, but it's funny how once he stopped getting paid or was starting to get fined, whichever it was, that's when the mental issues excuse surfaced. So there was that link up, and then he immediately gets traded, and all of a sudden he's there, gripping and grinning with his new teammates, looking like he, just got a new lease on life, and all is good. So I tweeted something like to the effect of, glad to see his mental health has improved. I think that was the tweet I put out.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure that some of the responses were people just freaking out on you. Which, whatever. Who gives a shit anymore? Somebody here on the stream says that this show, Kyle Brown says this show needs to be a 4-hour show. Kyle,
it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
And it's not going to be.
No, it's not.
Matter of fact, you got minutes left, so enjoy.
Exactly.
The only way this is going to be a 4-hour show is if you put it on repeat for 4 hours.
Right.
I'm not into doing that.
Yeah.
Today was the day, Harry, that pitchers and catchers were supposed to report.
Right. Yeah.
Big day, right?
Oh, it used to be a big day for me about 10 years ago. I mean, back when the last year the Phillies were really relevant, with that Ryan Howard, J-Roll squad. I think 2011, 2012 is when it all started to go downhill after that. So, yeah, I was into it. Yeah.
And now, I mean, it's still, the sport is just insane, like how much they're just shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
I don't feel sorry for them anymore.
No, I don't either. I told you, we're not going to go on about baseball anymore because I've replaced it. I told you it's been replaced. You've replaced it with the F1.
Yep.
Right. So, people this day and age with, even me, I'm an old guy. My attention span's way shorter than it used to be. I told you, during the Super Bowl, I was getting a little bit bored. I was starting to pay attention to other stuff while the Super Bowl was on. Imagine me during a baseball game.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm 56 years old. Now think about that, for a 24-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Or
a 13-year-old kid.
Right.
Like when you were a kid, when you were 13 or 15, whatever, like I remember watching Sunday Night Baseball like it was the biggest thing of the week.
Oh, yeah. Monday Night Baseball used to be big for me back when Howard Cosell was in the booth.
Yeah, like every
he
game.
He did baseball and football for those saying, you're wrong. He did both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might have done boxing a little bit too.
A little bit.
But I mean, you look at it and you go, like, this sport has no impact except for on the diehards.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's what it's become. It's become a niche sport.
Right.
And the participation levels at youth sport level is just dropping like a lead balloon. I can't. I thank God my kid didn't play baseball.
Oh yeah. See, my nephews used to play it, and then they got out of it for lacrosse.
Yeah, that's what my nephews did too.
They replaced it with lacrosse, and the kid's 13 years old.
Yeah.
So
the lacrosse thing is huge now. My sister has 4 boys, and they all play.
Yeah.
And I mean, their dad, my brother-in-law, Jim, he played football at Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, his position coach when he was there for 2 years, Chip Kelly.
Well, yeah, they were big on lacrosse.
Mm-hmm.
Johns Hopkins. I mean,
huge in Maryland. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the kids quit football, quit baseball, and they play lacrosse. They play it all year round.
Yep.
They're good at it too. I mean, the ones going to college next year, playing D3, and Michael, who's going to be, I think, in 8th grade, is going to Haverford School, which is one of the best lacrosse schools in the country.
In the area,
yeah. So it's crazy. So it's bananas, but we'll see if baseball can get their head firmly out of their ass.
I doubt it.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you a question too, and we'll kind of wrap up with this. I enjoyed the Billie Eilish concert.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I was going to, and I would not have gone had I not gone with my daughter. Have you ever been to a concert where you were kind of skeptical about the band? You came away a fan?
Boy. Probably
you tend not to go to those concerts.
Exactly. Yeah, I would just say no. I'll pass. You go by yourself, or go with somebody else. No.
Like who are those concerts that you remember? Like, holy shit! Like, this was an unbelievable. Like, you walked out of there like almost a changed man because it was like a religious event because it was so good.
Peter Gabriel.
Oh wow!
That
what
was
tour
incredible.
Was that, Harry? The So tour?
Yeah, it was the So tour in '86. But I was a big fan of him, from all this previous stuff and even some of the Genesis stuff.
Yeah.
I walked away where I was just blown away. See, I was pretty much Van Halen. I was blown away by Van Halen when I first heard them, but then when I went to see them live, it was just such a just the theatrics and David Lee Roth, you kind of came out of there going, wow, did I just see what I saw?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think, boy, I wish I would have been prepped for this question.
Yeah. I kind of just off a whim here. Sorry about that. We'll get into this in a subsequent episode.
I mean, my first concert was Yes. So just being at your first concert in the round at the Spectrum was I came away thinking it was way better than I thought it would be. Mm-hmm. Even though I thought it would be awesome, because it was your first one, and you're just like kind of
the sound,
awe of everything. Yeah, everything's so
the
big.
Energy in the building. Yeah. So you take the artist takes so much from the crowd, and I think everybody in the crowd takes so much from the artist and the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, Ted Nugent swinging around on a vine from side to side of the stage in a loincloth, and then picking up the guitar and jamming, in Lehigh's little arena. That was pretty incredible. That was my second show. Did you freeze? Not Hugh freeze. Yeah, you're frozen. I'm gonna have to let the cleaning lady in. Hold on.
All right. There we go. You still there, Harry? Oh, I think Harry's going to the bathroom. Oh, I'll tell him we're back. Whoa, we are back. He's got his notifications silenced. The concert that blew my mind when I saw Metallica. There he is. All right, we're back.
I had to let the cleaning lady in.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah.
One of the concerts that kind of blew my mind, I saw Kiss.
See, I never saw them.
I think it was like 97.
I should have.
And it was all the original members. So Peter Criss on drums and Ace Frehley.
Mm-hmm.
And we were sitting like kind of side stage. It was at Bryce Jordan Center at Penn State. And watching Ace Frehley walk into his little tent on the side of the stage and come out more buckled every time he went in. I mean, he was wasted, but still nailing every note. Every note.
So what was he doing in there?
Oh, he's probably drinking and doing whatever, doing Ace Frehley type things, trying to find Frehley's comet. I mean, he was that was just a great presentation of a show and like the vibe.
Yeah.
But I mean, I saw Pantera at some really cool venues. Metallica, obviously, I saw them open for Ozzy in 1985 with Cliff Burton for the Master of Puppets tour.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I mean, the first concert I ever went to was Adamant, and the opening act was the Romantics at the Spectrum Showcase Theater, where they cut it in half.
Right.
It was the Adam Ant Strip Tour. That was the first concert I ever went to.
I saw Velvet Revolver in one of those mini Spectrum tours, mini Spectrum shows where they cut the building in half. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, great stuff. So many great shows. We'll have to put a list together and do something with that at some point.
We don't do lists.
No, I do. You don't do lists. I have no problem with the list. I'm a walking list. So, anything else you want to get to, Har?
No, except I'm going to be on vacation. I'm going to be leaving on Saturday to drive down to Florida at 4 in the morning.
Driving?
Yeah.
How far of a drive is this, Har?
It's my Florida swing. Because I'm going to be going to several different places, playing a lot of golf all over the state, and then driving back up, hitting Myrtle Beach on the way home for 2 nights, and then coming back on the 2 Saturdays from now.
You and the Lima going?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
And where in Florida will you be shacked up at?
Ponte Vedra Beach, and then at my mom's, and then we'll go back up to Myrtle Beach.
Damn, that's nice. 2 weeks, Har?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Are you off the middle for 2 weeks?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm just doing my own thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are we doing the podcast while you're on the road?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Oh, that'll be great.
I'm taking my stuff, like I'm taking the laptop and the microphone and the headphones and all that stuff. So, we'll get it done.
Oh, so you'll be on like the green at 18.
Yeah, right.
In the background, right?
Right. Well, if I can rig up some kind of view like that, I definitely would.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't promise it though.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a great trip. That sounds fun.
It's a little adventure.
Yeah. And Joey B says, outstanding, Har.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy and safe driving.
Safe driving. I haven't done one of these long trips in quite a few years.
Yeah.
I used to be good at the 12, 15-hour drive kind of thing, but I haven't done it in a while, so we'll see what happens.
So do you and the Lima split the driving? Or does she handle the whole thing?
No, I mean, I'll get, no, I'll probably go straight through to Jacksonville myself.
Mm-hmm.
And, because I've gone straight through 17, 18 hours down to like, Fort Lauderdale, Miami before. So I can do it. We'll just do it. And then, on the way back, it's like 9 hours to Myrtle from my mom's, and then another 9 hours home. So it's kind of split in half.
Yeah. I'm a nightmare on these kind of long drives because I got to piss every 6 seconds.
Yeah, you'd be bad. You'd need a catheter.
Yeah.
I would have to rig up some sort of road catheter for you.
Yes, because, I mean, when we did the show, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, are you going to the bathroom again? Like I would go every break.
Yeah.
And I have my bladder's like the size of a thimble. So
Right.
And I tend to drink quite a bit of, water. And shit like
water.
That. So,
yeah.
So, well, it's going to be a good trip. When do you leave?
Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right. We gotta figure out too on the next episode what other guests we should get on. We're gonna ask the people.
Oh yeah,
they
we're
would like
going to the phones.
We'll go. Yeah. And I was thinking about Harry, because I just created a new email account to have people send us riled up messages, like audio. You can record it and then send them, and we'll play them on the Odd G's podcast, because we did the riled up segment, which was always a favorite.
Right.
That's where the OK guy came from. Okay. Because he was such a pussy, he wouldn't call in. Right. He would just call the recorded line.
Yeah. I kind of appreciated that, though, because I preferred him on that line.
Yeah, because you can control it a little bit.
Exactly.
Better. Yeah.
Exactly.
But maybe we'll get a little like riled up line going on. Maybe we'll take a live call too, Harry.
Let's go to the phones.
Yeah. AJB goes, not the strapper line.
No. That's been retired. Let's go to Joey B.
I love when he would go, let's go back to the phone.
Yeah, right. Like we ever left.
Yeah. So we'll get that going for maybe next week's episode as well. All right. Let's tell people one more time about Parx Sportsbook, where you can get all the action. Just because football's over doesn't mean there's not a lot to sports gamble on. You got college and pro hoops, hockey.
College hoops. There's a crazy game tonight. A local game, Villanova and Providence tonight. Providence is good.
The Friars.
They're a 2-loss team, and yet they're at home, and they're a 4.5-point underdog to Villanova.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a crazy game in the Big East. You know, if the line is telling you something, if you're Mikey Miss here, you'd be taking the Villanova Wildcats and you'd be laying the 4.5. Like somebody knows something here, and this is going to be a beatdown. So, you want to go lines telling you something. It's the Cats -4.5 at Providence.
All right. So you can get that on the Parx Sportsbook app. Play that tonight and enjoy it. And make sure you download the app. If you're using something else, try it. It's great. It's a local company. We trust them. Easy deposit methods, fast payouts, the whole thing. And you just open up an account, deposit your first bet risk-free up to $500. No promo required.
No code needed. Yep.
Yeah. We could go with like the Odd G's code.
Right.
Hashtag Odd G's if they required that, but they don't. So follow Parx on all the social channels at Parx Sportsbook on Twitter. Find them on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well. You'll get great content there, including this podcast. And make sure you leave us a rating and review as well.
Yeah. We need some more reviews like that we can read on the show.
Yeah. And subscribe as well on iTunes, whatever you get your podcast on. And we appreciate everybody listening, watching, and being a part of it. So we'll wrap it up. Everybody, thanks for watching. And we'll talk to you next week on another episode 12 next week. Parx Sportsbook presents the Odd G's podcast. Have a great day, everybody.